in Gauteng, where the EFF is set to open a case against Operation Dudula at the Alexandra police station north of Johannesburg. Now, they're accusing the organization of allegedly blocking access to clinics in the township, this leading to the death of a one-year-old Praise Banda. The toddler was rushed to a local clinic last month after falling violently ill. The mother alleges that she was refused access by some Operation Dudula members. Newsroom Africa's Zola Shalwana joins us live from there. Zola, I remember when you spoke to the mother and she gave such a heartbreaking account of what had happened, but also the confusion for that mother. And it's really the issue that has been raised around this continued campaign. What would happen in terms of the worst case scenario? And this is really where the Banda family finds itself.
Well, yes, indeed, Veronica. In fact, these are questions that we once asked the MEC of Gauteng in health, Nomantu Nkomo Ralohuko, when we heard and started seeing some members of Operation Dudula, of course, refusing some foreign nationals access to some clinics in Johannesburg. And the biggest question was, what happens when someone is critical? And also, what happens, understanding that now, there are, there's a measles campaign that's currently underway where parents are urged to take their children to the nearest clinics. Now, if a child is a child of a foreign national, does that mean that the child will not have access to healthcare? And that is what the mother of one-year-old Praise Banda alleges in this case. She says, her child fell ill and she immediately rushed the child to Masakane Clinic here in Alex. And then she alleges that people that are believed to be members of Operation Dudula blocked her from getting access to the clinic, essentially demanding her to have to possess a South African ID in order for her to be assisted. Now, in the second clinic here in Alex, she also claims that she also, she went there, of course, because she was refused entry at the first clinic. She was hoping that she will be assisted this time. And she alleges again that this time she was dealing with, healthcare professionals that told her that they will not give her access to, healthcare because she is not a South African national. But we are still hoping to hear from the Department of Health really about this as to what is currently being done, and also, what will it take for them to take action against such. When we covered the story earlier on, Veronica, the mother essentially said that she understands that she has lost a child and she's still feeling the pain. She's still reeling from the pain, but she would really love authorities to intervene so that there isn't another one-year-old Praise Banda. Now, we understand that the economic freedom fighters in Gauteng will be gathering outside this police station, exactly where we are in Alexandra. And this is to really, lay a charge against Operation Dudula, against all these allegations that have been leveled against him. We are not sure if Operation Dudula will be responding to what will be happening today, but we will get a comment from them, as we know that their president last week distanced themselves from the incident, essentially saying that their members were not at the clinic when Praise's mother took him to the clinic, and that they are not part of what has transpired here. But we do know that we have seen them several times in some clinics in Johannesburg where they were sending foreign nationals away. So we will keep you updated as soon as the EFF arrives here, and also some members of the community who have raised concerns about this, essentially saying that, claiming that there are some clinic managers that are also behind all of this, some health professionals that are also working with these organizations that are preventing foreign nationals from having access to basic health care.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're in Gauteng today, where the EFF is moving hard against Operation Dudula. They're set up to open a case at the Alexandra police station north of Johannesburg, accusing Dudula of blocking access to clinics and tying that accusation directly to the tragic death of a one-year-old toddler, Praise Banda. Now let's get this straight. According to the mother's story, her child fell violently ill. She then rushed Praise to the nearest clinic, only to be blocked at the gates by alleged Dudula members who supposedly demanded a South African ID before she could enter. She says she then went to a second clinic, and even there, health professionals allegedly refused to treat her because she was not South African. Long story short, the child did not survive. It's heartbreaking and it's tragic, but honestly, it's also suspiciously convenient, and that's why we have to think a little bit deeper. Why do I say that? Because last week, the EFF promised South Africa that they would deal with Dudula in 7 days. They threatened Zandile Dabula by name, and what do we see? Just days later, a perfectly timed tragedy tied directly to Dudula, followed by an immediate EFF campaign to criminalize them. Is that a coincidence or coordination? Because let's not forget, the mother says the people blocking her at the clinic were wearing green shirts. Now let's pause right there.
I take the baby on 31 July to Matsekana Clinic on Alexandra. I find the 2 people outside for the gate who was wearing a green t-shirt. After that, they asked me about ID. I said, I don't have ID. They said, go to private clinic, Mahara Clinic.
I've covered Dudula for years, and I've never, not once, seen them wearing green shirts. Their shirts have always been white. So who are these people in green that the mother is talking about? And notice this, the EFF statement isn't just about this one child anymore. They're broadening the accusation, claiming that 8 South African citizens were blocked from the clinic in Soweto, naming Dudula leadership directly. They're not just mourning a tragedy, they're using this to launch a full-scale legal and political attack. But here's the thing, Dudula has been in and out of court for years. They've been dragged, smeared, charged, and they're still standing. Why? Because beneath all the noise, their fight is rooted in something millions of South Africans believe in. Secure borders, South Africans first, and accountability for a failing government. So when I look at this so-called case, I don't see the end of Operation Dudula. I see another desperate attempt by political elites to crush a people's movement through the courts. And mark my words, it won't work. It may slow us down, but it won't stop the movement. And let's be very honest, when this case falls apart in court, when the evidence doesn't back up the claims, it won't just be Dudula's name that's cleared. It will be the EFF being exposed as manipulators, playing politics with a baby's death. South Africans deserve truth. South Africans deserve justice, not this political theater. This is bigger than one tragic story. This is about who controls the narrative and whether ordinary citizens fighting for their country can be silenced by power, propaganda, and courtroom tactics. So here's the bottom line. Dudula is under attack, the EFF is pushing hard, and the courts are about to become the next battlefield. But the movement isn't backing down, and neither should we. So stay tuned, because this fight is only just beginning. Watch the video on your left to see General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi exposing Senzo Mchunu for protecting drug cartels. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Until next time.